and thank you, Claire, for assisting me this morning. Our next award is the Jane G. Clayton Archives Award, which was created 19 years ago to honor individuals who have made exceptional contributions to the awareness, understanding, or preservation of Monmouth County history over a significant period of time. The award is named after former county clerk Jane Clayton, who had been county clerk for 17 years before Claire French. And she was responsible for the creation of the Monmouth County Archives and saving some of our most historic and precious government records. Over the years, the awards committee has received countless nominations of noteworthy individuals from all across Monmouth County, and we're certainly fortunate to have so many people who are worthy of nomination for this award. I'd like to thank our Clayton Award Committee, including Archivist Gary Soretsky, Monmouth County Historian Randy Gabrielin, Monmouth County Historical Commission Executive Director John Fabiano, and Monmouth County Historical Association Executive Director Evelyn Murphy. And I thank them for taking the time, not only this year, but in years past, to review the countless nominations we receive for this award. I'm pleased to announce this year's winner is Peggy Dellinger of Ocean Township. She is an individual who has a very long-term record of excellence in the preservation of Ocean Township's history. Peggy was a founding member and very first president of the Township of Ocean Historical Museum back in 1984, which was originally located in the old Oakhurst School. Over many years, she assisted with the exhibits, organizing, and research for the museum. And Peggy was also very instrumental in the restoration and preservation of the historic Eden Woolley House, which became the Ocean Township Historical Museum in 2008, which is very near and dear to my house because it's very close to my home, and it is a wonderful, wonderful museum. And I know Mayor Siciliano is very, very proud of the work that they have done, and it's really a beautiful museum. Peggy has planned, designed, and mounted and written up many of the numerous beautiful exhibitions, and she's largely responsible for the museum's historical newspaper, which in 2015 received the Kevin M. Hale Distinguished Publications Award, presented by the League of Historical Societies of New Jersey. Peggy's work with this beautiful museum is critical to the ongoing understanding of Ocean Township's history. Please join me, Peggy, and thank you so much for your remarkable work with the preservation of our history here in Monmouth County. This is the Jane Clayton Archives Award, which I'd like to present to you today, and thank you so much for your contributions. And I'd love to offer you to say a few words if you'd like to. Okay, I'll hold that for you.
Thank you so much. When Gary called to tell me about this, I was surprised and I was honored and I was uncomfortable. I went to the website and I looked at the list of people who've won this award before me, and that didn't help. And then I thought about standing here today and looking out at all of you, and many of you mentors of mine, role models of mine, and that didn't help. And then a friend of mine said, I'll paraphrase her, get over yourself. It's not about you, it's about the museum. And that helped. It's easy to talk about the museum. Many of you are associated with sites and organizations that can boast battle sites and scientific breakthroughs and saving our nation. When we started our museum 32 years ago in 2 rooms of the Oakhurst Schoolhouse, we had a fundamental question to ask ourselves: what's the point of having a local museum if Washington didn't sleep here? And we decided we had the answer, and the answer is because every place, just like every person, has a story to tell. And it's been our mission for the past 32 years to tell that story in a way that delights, engages, informs, and inspires people, even people who didn't think they were interested. When I look out here, it's so comforting to be surrounded by people who love history as much as we all do. But we've taken on the daunting task of touching and moving and getting into the building the people who didn't think they cared. So 32 years ago, we started in these 2 rent-free rooms in the Board of Ed. In 1999, the council asked us if we would take on the rehabilitation of this beautiful farmhouse, 250 years old, about in its oldest part. And even though we never had a budget of more than $5,000, and it was projected to cost about $1 million to rehabilitate this home, we said, sure, we'll do that. And the house was moved in 2005. We worked before that and since that tirelessly to restore and refurbish every room. We've outfitted the 3 downstairs rooms as galleries. 2 have permanent exhibits. We've expanded our mission from Ocean Township to the Ocean Township that was in 1849, incorporating most of coastal Monmouth County from Seabright down to Avon. And we've collaborated with Deal, Interlaken, Long Branch, Asbury Park, particularly those communities that haven't yet gotten their own historical museums. And we think of ourselves as embracing all of that history, which is good, because that means that we got some presidents, for example. Our current exhibit in the Woolly House is Presidents at the Shore, which we did in collaboration with the Long Branch Historical Museum. We have some extraordinary artifacts, including furniture that was in President Grant's home, the flag that was draped over President Garfield's casket for an impromptu memorial service in Elberon. Well worth coming to visit us. We would welcome you to visit our website at Ocean Museum. Couldn't be easier to remember, oceanmuseum.org. It tells you the hours that we're open. We've extended our research library, which we started in the old schoolhouse, and we have programs that fill the calendar. Perhaps the most exciting thing for me about all of this is that we do all of this as volunteers. We have about 60 volunteers who show up on regularly scheduled gigs. We're open 50 hours a month. We have volunteers beyond those 60 up to 100. We know this because we just had a volunteer appreciation event, so we put together a guest list. Over 100 people who are there when we need them and call them to come in. And I heard once that a great team is one in which each individual thinks that the other people are doing the hard job. And that kind of is what we are. And so on behalf of all of those volunteers who are doing the hard job and who love the Eden Woolly House and history as much as I do, I thank you very much for this award.
Thank you so much, Peggy.